Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Friday, September 12th, and we are still looking at creation. We're looking at how creation interacts with spiritual warfare, and this brings us to some really cool verses. That brings us to Genesis 1:26 to 27, which says, "Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the birds of the heavens and over the livestock and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth.'" Let's stop and think this through. These creeping things, Satan's going to take over one of those creeping things to tempt Eve and have the fall happen. But yet we have dominion over it. Why do we have dominion over it? Because we are made in his image, we are made in his likeness, because God created us to follow him. Verse 27, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them." So one of the words that shows up over and over again in this passage is image. It shows up 3 times. 3 points you to the Trinity right there. And when you look at this word, the word is Tselem, I don't know how to say it. And the meaning is an illusion, a resemblance, a representative figure, or an idol. So we're kind of a representative of God, not kind of, we are. We're a representative of God as we are going through our day-to-day lives. The lexicon is an outline or representation of an original as a shadow, the outline of the original. So let's look at what likeness means. Likeness, the word is demuth, and it means a resemblance, a model, a shape, or like. But the pictograph was interesting. It's a door representing the idea of moving back and forth. It's a picture of water and can represent any liquid, especially blood. Combined, these letters mean the moving back and forth of water or the flowing of blood. There it is again. All of this is pointing to the fact that Christ's blood is going to flow at the crucifixion to pay the price for our sins. Dominion, the word there was radah, and it means to tread, subjugate, or crumble off. And once again, the pictograph we've seen before. It's a picture of the head of a man and a picture of the door that allows entrance into the tent, entrance into God's presence. And combined, these mean man through the door. The door represents Jesus Christ. It is through Jesus Christ that we enter into God's presence. Then I got curious about the word male. The word there is zakar, and it means remembered or male. And the lexicon is a recalling of the events of the past or to act upon a past event. So when we think about this spiritual warfare, that spiritual warfare was already in place when the Bible begins and it says in the beginning. That spiritual warfare is already there. If you want to see those videos from the beginning of covering these creation videos, go ahead and go back and look at that, and you'll see Satan was there long before man was created. Also, the lexicon is a recalling of events of the past or to act upon a past event. We are acting upon what God has already done, what God is currently doing, and what God's going to do in the future. Now, the word for female is nakeba, and it means to make a hole by piercing. It's also to curse in the sense of piercing through. Christ bore all that sin, and his body was pierced for our transgressions. All of these verses, when you look at the definitions of these words, it prophesies the crucifixion and says, this is going to be happening. We're going to have Christ paying the price for our sins so we can enter through that door. It's by his piercing, by the flow of his blood, that we're able to enter through that door into God's presence. And we should crave that presence. Go enjoy that presence. Today is Friday, so I'm going to remind you there's no video over the weekend, but I'll be back with you on Monday. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.